So there she sat, the goddess Durga, on her golden lion, transformed from the fire of the gods into this dazzling vision. And she prepared herself for battle. The gods all looked on, awestruck. This was the woman who was going to save them. She was single-handedly going to take on the demon that they had not been able to defeat collectively. You can imagine why they were awestruck. You can understand why they were awestruck. As a token of their appreciation, each of the gods humbly came forward and offered her their own special weapons, one for each of her 18 hands, to take into battle. The first one to come forward was Vishnu, the preserver of the universe. He offered the goddess his discus, his spinning wheel of fire that can slice galaxies into smithereens. Durga graciously took it in one of her hands. Next came Shiva, who offered her his trident. Shiva's trident can throw missiles from one planet to another. The goddess smilingly accepted this in another of her hands. Then came Varuna, the lord of the oceans, and he brought her his most deadly weapon, the noose made from water, which never left your hand, but it could fly anywhere and choke the life out of anybody. And because it was invisible, you could not even see it coming. And for another of her hands, Varuna also offered her his primeval conch. With this conch, you could command the waves of the oceans. The god of fire brought her his weapon. This could shoot 1,000 fires all at once. The god of the winds brought her his bow. It was the strongest bow in the universe, and with it, he brought her a little silver quiver that had an unending supply of arrows. Indra, the god of the thunderbolt, gave her 1,000-jointed thunderbolt. This thunderbolt was like flexible, unbreakable barbed wire. You could have tied up the solar system with this thunderbolt. Indra also gave her the golden bell from around his own elephant's neck to put around the throat of her golden lion. He hoped that this gift would make her happy. Yamraj, the god of the dead, offered the goddess a staff of death. This is the staff that could extend unendingly. It could be as long as the imagination itself, and the mere touch of it could make thousands vanish into the halls of the dead. They say that the hand with which the goddess received this staff was so perfect, it was so delicate, that the mere touch of it made the Lord of Death tremble. Brahma, the creator. Brahma gave her a copper pot filled with the purifying water from the Ganges. Kal, the lord of time, gave her a double-edged axe that glinted like the mirror of the soul. Vishwakarma, the craftsman of the heavens. Vishwakarma brought her another axe, a single-edged one, and this one was so exquisitely made, it looked more like a piece of jewelry than a weapon. And Durga smiled with such delight when he gave it to her because, warrior goddess or not, she was still a woman first, and she liked beautiful things. Vishwakarma also gave her a suit of armor made of gold that was as light as air. Kuber, the god of precious stones and jewels, offered Durga a jewel-encrusted wine cup to drink from. Again, a thing of such perfect beauty that the goddess was once again delighted to receive it. Seeing the pleasure with which the goddess received these exquisite things, the great god Vishnu decided to bring her yet another gift. He had already given her his all-powerful discus. Now he brought her a feminine version of his gigantic mace. He had the craftsman decorate the mace with 1,000 little bells that tinkled in the breeze. It was an irresistible weapon. And finally came the sun god, who brought her his light so that she could shine even brighter than before. And as Durga stood there in all her dazzling glory, carrying all of her gifts and weapons in her many, many hands, the gods realized that this was truly the woman that they had been waiting for. She was truly their savior.